So the other day, I made a video talking about Battle for Brooklyn and how this teaser that they posted showed an agent shooting a flare gun that looks to be an extraction zone. The way that the assets are put all around that character and them shooting the flare, it just screamed extraction. Now, since posting that video, a lot of people wanted to try to point out that there were no contaminated bags on that character when they popped the flare, so therefore it's impossible to be a dark zone. But check this out. Okay, so I am currently walking up to, what is this, the DZ2 extraction point. I do not have a bag on my character, and before I extract, you can see there's a lot of cover spots all around the extraction in a big circle, and I pop my flare. Look at that. Yeah, that's right. We're talking survival. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But yes, I think survival is coming to Brooklyn. Maybe. So, let me explain. Now, in my previous video, when we were talking about the Dark Zone and that agent shooting their flare off for the Battle for Brooklyn little teaser, it started to hit me that this is their rollout for the division. Okay? They're starting their public rollout. And it starts with this announcement for Battle for Brooklyn. And at the exact same moment, they then promoted their new survival podcast. Now, these two have nothing to do with each other unless there is survival coming. So let me talk a little bit more about that. I'll try to get out of the base of ops because I know the monitors or whatever, the speakers go off whenever they're trying to talk to people. There we go. That way we get a little quieter here. So my entire premise of that video the other day about the Dark Zone in Battle for Brooklyn is that looked like an extraction zone. The way it was set up was an extraction zone. The way that the extraction point was in front of all of those different assets, it was screaming extraction. You do not need an extraction to be called with a contaminated bag. Or at least not in survival. Because in survival, all you need to do is get the antivirus and then a flare gun, and you can just get out of survival. Furthermore, the Division Heartland was canceled. All right, I know. It's actually been about a year. But yes, the Division Heartland was canceled about a year ago. With that, let me just remind you that survival had a big part in the Division Heartland. There was a lot of aspects and a lot of things taken from survival and put into the Division Heartland. And the initial thing with the Division Heartland was it was supposed to be a game mode that was going to be like kind of like a survival 2.0. Then they changed it into a battle royale. And then they changed it to its own standalone game that was going to be free to play. Because it was free to play, they ended up canceling the Division Heartland. And they still have all of those assets. They still have that entire game. Yes, I played the Division Heartland. I loved that game. I played it a lot. And it felt finished. It felt polished. It had the falling leaves. It had all of the colors that you see in the Battle for Brooklyn DLC. They had that in Heartland. They already had that for years. So my thing is that Heartland had a lot of those survival aspects to it, right? Let's talk about Descent. Descent also had a lot of aspects taken from it that came from survival. And Yannick even stated that the Descent game mode, when they were first coming up with the idea for another game mode, they were going for a survival 2.0. They were trying to figure out how to do that. And then they ended up going with the roguelite game mode, and then it spawned into Descent, and then our year 5, year 6 content. Blase blah. Now, my whole thing here is that you had Heartland, which was survival based, canned, but they still have all the assets. You have Descent, that was originally a survival based, canned, but they still have the concept and the ideas. Then you have them rolling out Battle for Brooklyn that looks to have some of the, assets taken from Heartland. At the exact same time, they are posting a survival podcast. Why would they have a survival podcast that has absolutely nothing to do with the Division at the same time that they're doing this? Unless that maybe, just maybe, we're getting survival with Brooklyn. Now, the other day during my live stream, I broke all of this down because I told everyone to go watch my Dark Zone video and to come back and talk to me, because I wanted to hear their insights, because I told everyone in that video it was a part 1. This is part 2. Because not only do I think that was an extraction point for a Dark Zone, I think it's survival. More importantly, screw the Dark Zone part. I think it's survival. I do. I think it's survival. Why would they have a survival podcast and have all of those survival assets and not use them and put them together? If they do that and they have no survival and no nothing, and on top of this, have you been listening to Yannick lately during the live streams? For the past 2 live streams, he has said, if you're going to ask me about survival, get out of the stream. I don't want to talk about survival. It's funny that he's saying that, the creative director, when their brand is promoting a survival-based podcast. Now, why would he not want to talk about survival unless that's because they're coming out with survival? I mean, come on. So the big 3 things that have always been hit the devs every time they show their faces, right? The 3 big things. Let's just talk about it really quick. Every time they ever show their faces, they get asked these 3 questions. Stash space, more content, and survival / PvP. Okay? The first one, stash space. They just did it. They just gave us stash space. Bada bing, bada boom. The next thing, content. Where's the content? Well, they're bringing content. We got that DLC coming. The first thing that's ever dropped in, 5 years? Big thing. So there's your content. The next thing, survival / PvP. Where is it? Well, if they gave us survival, that would make the PvP community happy, and that would make the PvE community happy. Because remember, survival, you had a choice to play it in PvE or PvP. So there's my part 2 of this. I'm trying to break these down. There's going to be another part to this later, but I want to get everyone's opinions on this. Because seeing that trailer, seeing him pop that flare, it showed everything extraction. It oozed extraction out of it. And the only ways of extracting, control points, Dark Zone, survival? I mean, come on. Yeah, there's a few parts in some missions that you would pop a flare, but I don't really. I don't really think they're going down that road. Why would you do all of this and promote a survival podcast and tell people not to ask you about survival, unless they're bringing survival? It's one of those it's like Ubisoft and Disney and all these big companies. They deny, and then it happens. Remember the whole stash space thing? I'm pretty sure he said no for 4 freaking years. And then after 4 years, what did they do? They gave us stash space. So it's like a deny, and then, oh yeah, here you go, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm on the wrong ledge here. Maybe this is a hill I might die on. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And while you're at it, please hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Yo, if they brought Survival and the Dark Zone to Brooklyn, they would make all the money. It would bring back everybody. Come on. Tell me it wouldn't.